Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a pretty raw reality, life's sudden, devastating hardships, and the hidden mechanics of breakthrough success. Look, when you get hit with immense difficulty, the natural human instinct is to duck, right? To hide, to just run away. But we're looking at some deeply grounding source material today that teaches us to do the exact opposite. We're going to unpack exactly why stepping into the struggle is absolutely crucial. And to do that, we're using one of the most powerful natural metaphors out there to understand how invisible growth is actually the most important growth of all. We really have to start right here, by directly validating the pain so many of us face. It's hard handling just the tragedies of life. The source material we're examining today doesn't sugarcoat a single thing. It acknowledges that life simply hits incredibly hard. When you're putting everything you have into something and it just doesn't work out, it's rough, it's humiliating, it's exhausting. We aren't talking about minor inconveniences here. We're talking about those brutal moments that literally bring you to your knees and make you want to surrender the whole shebang.
And when we say tragedies, we mean exactly that. Imagine being 49 years old, having poured 17 years of your life into a job, only to be told you're finished, handed a single week of severance pay, and told to start all over again. Or think about the sheer devastation of sudden widowhood while you're raising young kids who are literally still crawling. Or taking a huge risk, putting other people's money into a venture, losing it all, and facing the humiliating reality of unpayable debt. It is absolutely vital that we recognize these situations not as the end of the story, but as the dark, uncomfortable soil of struggle. Because as you'll see, that soil, that's exactly where our hero's journey actually begins. Now, when faced with these kinds of severe hardships, most of us just want an easy out. We try to duck it. But here's a really hard truth. Easy come, easy go. If you're going to survive, you simply cannot run from the difficulty. You have to step toward it. You've got to embrace whatever comes your way and handle those hard things head on. You have to make those tough decisions right now, even the ones you really don't want to make. You have to learn the things you hate doing, simply because they are the necessary hoops you have to jump through to get to where you want to go. If you don't face it, life is just going to keep knocking you down until you finally surrender and say, okay, I'll cooperate, I'll learn. So the message here is incredibly clear. Don't look for the easy way out. Do it hard.
So, let's move into Section 2, the seed in the dark, the Chinese bamboo tree metaphor.
To truly grasp why doing it hard pays off, our source points to a brilliant biological illustration of invisible growth, the Chinese bamboo tree. Just consider this 5-year process. You plant the seed in the ground. In year 1, you've got to water and fertilize the ground every single day, and absolutely nothing happens. Zero visible growth. Year 2 rolls around. You keep watering, you keep fertilizing. Nothing. Year 3, year 4, it's the exact same story. You are putting in daily, painstaking effort, and there is absolutely zero evidence above ground that any of your work is paying off. But then, look at year 5. It finally breaks through the ground, and within just 5 weeks, it grows an astonishing 90 feet tall. That's like a 9-story building.
Which brings us to a really fascinating question posed by our source. Did the Chinese bamboo tree grow 90 feet tall in 5 weeks? Or did it grow 90 feet tall in 5 years? Well, the answer might seem obvious, but it is deeply profound. It grew 90 feet tall in 5 years. Why? Because if at any single point during those first 4 years of invisible silence, the person had stopped watering, nurturing, and fertilizing that ground, that bamboo tree would have died in the earth. The massive, visible success was 100% dependent on that long, invisible struggle of daily nurturing. That brings us to Section 3, the drought, facing the naysayers. You know, it's one thing to silently water a plant in your backyard. It is a completely different ballgame to water your dreams for years while society is watching you. Imagine you're out there watering your little patch of dirt every single day. The neighbors walk by, gossiping, and say, hey, what are you doing? You're growing a Chinese bamboo tree, right? Well, even Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder can see there ain't nothing showing. People are absolutely going to do that to you. They'll ask, how long have you been working on this dream, and this is literally all you have to show for it? The source points out that this is exactly the moment when most people stop. They don't see instant results, they get embarrassed, and they just quit watering their dream entirely. So how do you actually hang in there during those difficult times, when people are laughing and absolutely nothing is growing? Well, the source breaks it down into this exact 3-step formula. Step 1, believe in yourself. This is faith. You've got to believe in your abilities, your service, your company, and your ideas completely and unquestionably. Step 2, wait for the timing. This is patience. That faith gives you the patience to accept that things just won't happen as quickly as you want them to, and that unexpected things are going to catch you off guard. And finally, step 3, keep plugging away. Action. Your faith and patience have to drive you into relentless action. You just have to keep moving and keep watering that ground no matter what.
And if you hold on to that faith in action, you finally reach section 4, the harvest, the sweet transformation. This is that magical 5th year when the bamboo finally shoots out of the ground. And isn't it funny how suddenly those exact same people who mocked you are now asking you for a job? During the hard times, when you couldn't make payroll or things were failing, they were nowhere to be found. But the most beautiful part of this transformation isn't the sudden influx of fair-weather friends. No, it's the internal realization that happens when you look backward. Hindsight reveals the purpose. The source points out that while you were going through the pain and those long, silent years, you just cannot understand why it's happening to you. But after you get through it, you look back and say, oh, wow, now I understand why I needed that lesson. All of that dark, invisible time in the soil was secretly preparing you for bigger and better things.
Which brings us to the real central question of our explainer today. Why is the hard way better? Seriously, if the goal is simply to have a 90-foot bamboo tree, wouldn't it be so much better if it just sprouted on day one? Why does the source insist that the harder the better, the sweeter the victory? This question sets up the ultimate twist about the true nature of success.
Here's the twist. The massive 90-foot tree, the external success, the money, the incredible career, none of that is the real prize. The true reward is the internal strength that is forged during that invisible struggle. Character is built, courage is developed, faith is manifested. When you go through the fire, when you survive those silent years, you get up in the morning, look in the mirror, and you are literally a different kind of person. You walk with a completely different kind of spirit. People can look right at you and know that you have embraced life, that you know it was hard, but that you did it hard anyway.
We're going to wrap up this explainer with this profoundly powerful final thought from the source. What you become in the process is more important than the dream. I want to leave you with that challenge today. When you look in the mirror at the struggles you're currently facing right now, the times you feel like you are just watering dirt, ask yourself, how are these invisible, silent hardships actually forging your ultimate character?